Hello, this is Tale of Two Dead Girls, and I am your host, Kayla.
And I'm your host, Kale. No, we sound like a fucking sex hotline.
Alright, anyways, I'm Kayla, and that's Kale, and this is Tale of Two Dead Girls. Welcome.
What's up?
So it is Monday. I forget what day it actually is.
Because it's technically Wednesday.
Right. Yeah. Okay. It's Wednesday, but you guys are listening to this on Monday, so whatever. But it's like what day 13, 14 of quarantine.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
If you can hear my dog in the background, he's dreaming.
Aww.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but yeah, he's dreaming. So he's you know.
My dog does that too.
Yeah. But yeah, so oh god. I'm kind of going like okay, I'm like kind of going insane because of this quarantine, but like also it's really nice to just be home, but it's like I'm actually not really going outside, which I should still go outside. Like people say you shouldn't go outside, but you can go outside. You can go outside and get some fucking air and breathe and run around. Just do it by yourself. Don't go fucking bothering anyone. Don't go being close to people. Like, don't hang out with your friends. Just go do your thing by yourself or with whoever you're, living with or something. Get your air, get your vitamin D from the sun,
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not doing that though. I did that like a couple of times. I went out because I had to go ship some orders, but I did take a walk around my little neighborhood, and that was fucking nice. I was just standing there like soaking up the sun, and I was like, oh yes, this is amazing. But then like 5 minutes in, I'm already exhausted because being out in the sun is kind of exhausting, and when you're not in the sun for a long period of time and you go into the sun, it like, I don't know, it just drained me. It's weird.
Yeah, when you spend a lot of time inside and then you finally go outside and everything feels like shit. And
Yeah.
you're sore immediately. Like I was going to the gym like every day before this happened, and now like I try to work out from home, but I have no motivation to do it, and it's just not the same. But I like did some stretching and yoga this morning, and I was just like, oh my god, why am I sore from this? Like I am a piece of trash.
No, I've actually been doing, I don't remember if I said this in the last one, but I've been doing yoga like every single night and every single morning for like the past couple of, no, I would just probably say like the past 2 weeks maybe. And I love it. I love having that routine. I use my Sacred Mountain essential roller for in the morning, and then I use like my stress away, or like I made a roller for like sleepy time, and then I use that at night with my yoga, and it feels really fucking relaxing. So if you're not doing anything and you're not getting any sort of exercise or anything, get your little booty up and go do some yoga or some jumping jacks or something. Just get something going, like, get your blood flowing. I don't know, just don't lay in bed or sit on the couch all day. Like, of course that's fine, but like move for at least like 10 minutes a day. Like, do something. But with that being said, I'm actually probably not going to be doing any of that besides being a couch potato on my bed, because I just pre-ordered Animal Crossing. Well, no,
Yes!
I ordered Animal Crossing. Oh wait, no I didn't. I bought Animal Crossing from a friend, and then I pre-ordered the Coral Switch Lite, but that's not coming until like the beginning of April, so that sucks. But yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, is
Yep.
it? Oh, I'm so excited.
I bought a Switch and I bought Animal Crossing because I'm really fucking bad at video games, but I wanted to get into something. Like I'm bored as fuck just sitting here all day, and my boyfriend plays video games, and so I've been seeing everything about Animal Crossing, and I actually wanted to get Animal Crossing last year, but I never did. So I decided now is the time because I've been saving tons of money not doing anything by just sitting at
Right.
home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought the yellow Switch. It's so cute. I
Cute.
know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I thought about it. I was really debating whether or not I should get it, but then like all my friends started playing and I was like, this would be fun to have like some sort of game, like virtual game to play with like my friends, And I did download the iPhone version like a year ago or whenever it came out. And I was honestly pretty bored. I had no fucking clue what I was supposed to do, or like I just didn't know how to play or use it or whatever, so I ended up deleting it. So I'm hoping now that I'm actually getting like the little game thing, like the Switch, that I don't know, that I'll just like be able to play it more cuz on my phone was not fun. It was
Yeah,
boring.
that makes sense. To me, Animal Crossing is like Minecraft, but just like way cuter. I have exciting news. I am actually going to be a host in another podcast, and it's going to be called The Horror Sphere. I'm doing it with my boyfriend and his friend Jordan, and it's gonna be like a comedy podcast, and also we're gonna talk about like anything horror, paranormal, sci-fi, mysteries, maybe video games, just things like that. We're just kind of doing it for fun. You can find us on Instagram at the Horror Sphere, and oh, sorry, it's actually at the Horror Sphere podcast. My boyfriend runs a page called the Horror Sphere, which is just talk. He like posts like movie characters and talks about horror movies and things like that. And
I wondered what that was. I was like, we're following this and this is like a personal page somehow, but I don't know who this is. But Kale follows them, so
yeah, he wanted me to keep it a secret, but then we did the podcast and he's like, okay, whatever.
yeah,
um,
that's exciting.
yeah, but we did release our first episode. It's about Skinwalker Ranch, but the audio got really fucked up because I was using my mic and and they were using like old microphones that they had for like recording music, and basically my microphone picked up everything that they were saying, so the audio is pretty rough, honestly, but we didn't want to re-record it since it was like an hour worth of material, so we just released it anyways because it's our first episode, so we figured people will forgive us if it's shitty.
Right. Well, first episodes always have their technical difficulties. Um, I'm very excited about my next theme for my wall hangings that I've been doing. I'm not going to share it just yet to the public because I still have some commissions for the midsummer pieces that I'm doing. But I am very excited for the next theme. It is going to be a horror movie from the 80s. So that's all I'm going to say. And I'm just so excited and I can't wait to see what I come up with and if you guys like it.
Can I guess?
Or anybody. No, don't guess because I don't even want to say yes or no here on the podcast. So um you can ask me later. But during this whole like quarantine thing, that's what I've been working on, all of my commissions and everything. Also, I've been oh my god. I can't even talk. I have been binge watching the fuck out of Ghost Adventures. And it's been great. Like, I mean, although like every single day kind of feels the same. It's like I wake up, do yoga, get started on my wall hangings and watch fucking Ghost Adventures the entire day. And that's my whole day. And then I do yoga, go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing. But it's great because Hulu has like a bunch of Ghost Adventures episodes, except they don't fucking have seasons 1 through 7. If anybody knows where I can find those, please let me know because I want to watch all of them.
Yeah, I used to love that show. I'm actually surprised that you like watching that show even at night or by yourself because I feel like you get scared so easily.
Okay, see, I
I
don't
get
watch it
scared
at
so
night
fucking easily.
though.
Like I hate that sound that the freaking machine that records ghost talking makes where it's just like
The spirit box,
yeah,
it's
so
so
scary.
loud. Literally, I'm just like, how the
It's
fuck are they
terrifying.
doing this? First of all, they are in the dark. Like how can they stand in those rooms in the dark with this loud sounding box with fucking demons coming out of it? Like, nope. I couldn't. I couldn't. First of all, I'm terrified of the dark, so there's no way in hell I'd ever be in somewhere where it's plain darkness, you know? It's just, and then something loud and being in the dark really scares me. Like, loud noises scare me. So,
Yeah, same. That's why I don't go to those
it's
fake haunted fucking attractions ever at
oh,
all.
I okay, see, I love those. Like
Nope.
Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, that is my thing. I go there every single year. I look forward to that. That is like the only thing I look forward to every single year. It's going to Horror Nights. It's so much fun. Um but yeah, so speaking of ghost adventures, that's actually what inspired my story for this episode. Well, it's not really a story. It's kind of just like a haunted location that I'm going to talk about. Also, if you do want to watch the episode of what I'm talking about, it is season 13, episode 12. And this is about the Soto Hotel in El Paso, Texas. So, this
Ooh.
hotel was built in 1905. Um, oh shit, I dropped my phone already. Okay, so it was located, or it is located, in downtown El Paso and has been the site of many paranormal investigations. So, not just the dudes from Ghost Adventures, there's been a lot of other, uh, people going there to investigate. They also have like ghost tours that happen there all the time. So, there's that. Um, Today, it offers inexpensive housing for long-term tenants. So people, although it does say hotel, the majority of the people actually live there permanently. And I think they do have a few rooms available to, like rent for the night or whatever. Um, and I only know that because I looked it up and I saw, some of like the rooms on TripAdvisor.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, other than that, I couldn't really find any history or anything on the building or the location. And I did try really, really fucking hard to find any sort of history about the building or anything. I even tried calling the place and I got no answer.
Oh
So
damn, you were
I'm
really out here
sorry.
investigating.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the lack of history in this. But I do know that on January 16th, 1973, a Satan worshiper broke into the DeSoto Hotel and ransacked one of the rooms, and he ended up putting curses on the policeman that put him in jail. Um, Also, a fun fact, there is a cemetery nearby. I think it's called the Concordia Cemetery, where Richard Ramirez.
Yeah, the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez.
Yes, that guy.
Ooh.
Yeah, him. So he he would do like satanic stuff at that nearby cemetery, so people think that whatever he had conjured up there might have gone to the hotel or something. I don't know. But yeah, they think
Yeah,
it
fucking
might have
probably.
some sort of connection, right? So anyway, this place has a lot of paranormal activity, like a whole lot, and it's said to have three distinct entities that have been documented by more than one source. One haunting case of it might have even been the cause of a cop getting shot.
Damn.
So on February 6, 2014, around 1:10 p.m., police were called to the De Soto Hotel because of a disturbance on the third floor. Two policemen got there and were trying to get this man to open the door of the room that he was living in, and when he did, he shot at them, injuring one of the cops while the other one took cover. After firing those shots, he locked himself in his room again, and then, um, so what had happened was one tenant said that he saw that the man was thrashing his body up in the air like a gymnast, like quote, like a gymnast or something a gymnast would do. So him and
Ugh.
another tenant tried to help calm him down and hold him down. So he was lying there on his back, just like convulsing or like moving weirdly, you know. Um
Yeah, that's scary. I don't like that.
yeah, and so then oh my god, I'm like so fucking stuttery today. What the hell is wrong with me?
It's hard to
Ah,
focus, man. These times are tough.
yeah, honestly they are.
I get
Jesus.
distracted by like every fucking thing lately.
Yeah, me too. It's awful. Okay. So yeah, they were trying to calm him down and cuz he was like, you know, convulsing or whatever. And then he started to act like he was calming down, but the tenant said that he was actually powering up. And then all of a sudden, he threw them off of him. So I don't know if I already said this, but because I said them. So it was this man tenant and then this woman tenant who were trying to help this guy like calm down. And then he like fucking like ripped his arms open or whatever and he like threw them and so they both took off running and then that guy just started chasing them and then he said that the man went to his room and was saying stuff that no one could understand, like if he was talking in like tongues.
Oh,
So
dude. No.
yeah, like if
That
he
shit's
was
so scary.
possessed.
The fact that, yeah,
Yeah.
that shit's scary as fuck. I don't like that.
Yeah, so that's when they called the cops on him, and the cops yelled to get him to come out of the room. And the next thing you know, the man started firing. Um, and then that man claims he doesn't remember anything of what happened. So that's why they believe he was possessed and not just like crazy or something. Um, but yeah, so a paranormal investigation group went to the hotel and set up equipment to see if they could capture anything, and they did. Um, they caught a shadow figure in a doorway and then walking across the hallway, so it's like a very short video of like a figure coming out of a doorway and like walking into the hall. As well as they got, or oh my god, why am I talking so fucking wrong? I'm so sorry, you guys. But okay, so they caught that video and then they caught an EVP that you can hear a child clearly saying, "Who cares?" And I'm gonna insert that now.
It's getting really freaky.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's why I thought I heard like a little footstep from back that way.
Yeah, and there were like little light ones. There were more than.
Okay, so honestly, I don't know if I believe this recording. It is said to be true. But this voice sounds, it just sounds too clear. Like I don't think I've ever heard an EVP sound this clear. Um so it kind of sounds fake to me, but I don't want to say it's fake, you know? So tell me what you guys think. And then the video of the shadow figure can be seen in our Instagram post for this episode. Um, so there's also a spirit of a young girl that's known as Sarah, who's said to be down in the basement and that you can hear her playing and laughing. Also, people say that they hear her in the hallways just outside their doors. She can be heard laughing and giggling, and when asked, she's been caught on an EVP saying her name. Although most of the energy or spirits in the hotel are said to be malevolent, the De Soto residents and guests say she's more of a mischievous spirit. So they don't feel like she's, you know, really evil or anything. She just likes to fuck around and play.
Yeah, just like a trickster.
Yeah, and apparently she's more specifically drawn to women who pass through the hotel. Um, and one of the tenants said that they heard a little girl running around his first floor, and when he opened the door, nobody was there.
I hate that.
You know what would be more creepy is if he could like look at the crack of his door at the bottom and see if there's like little feet running.
Oh
Oh my god,
no!
that'd be terrifying.
It's just Action Bronson. I don't know if you saw that picture, but he has very tiny feet.
Yeah, I did see
It's
that.
so
I was
weird.
like, what is this real?
I thought it was little baby legs. Anyways, continue.
Like edited. Okay, so the thing with Sarah, some oh my god, some people think that it might actually be a demon disguising itself as a little girl, since that's what demons do, trick you into thinking there's someone or something else. Usually it's in the form of a little girl, which makes it so much more spooky, which I have no idea why they demons decide to, take form of a little girl or whatever, but I don't know. I don't
Because
know
it
why.
lures people in.
Because they're like inviting or something. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm getting freaked out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn my light on.
That's why. Did you watch any of the Annabelle movies?
Of course I did, dude. The first episode of this podcast is on Annabelle.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And I did it.
I know I know I've listened to every episode, but I totally forgot. But yeah, there's like the part when I can't remember. I think it's the second one when they're like the orphans, and she like hears that loud stomping like coming towards her. That shit scares the fuck out of me. So when you were talking about that earlier, like you could just like her door was open and you could just hear this loud stomping on the floor, and then it's just like gets closer to her, closer. It's really scary.
Fuck. Yeah. So demons, little girls, they got a thing for each other. So the thing in the basement is something no one wants to encounter. It's said to be used for storage, but workers of the hotel refuse to go in it. The property manager says she feels like someone is following her anytime she's ever gone down there, so she won't anymore. And the maintenance guy gets a bad vibe and says that the atmosphere is just different, so he doesn't ever really go down to the basement either. There's said to be really negative energy down in the basement, and there are stories of it being a restless spirit that doesn't know how to control its anger, while others truly think it might be something demonic.
Yeah.
There are local tales of a history of satanic worship occurring in the basement of the DeSoto Hotel. People passing through the basement have reported feeling watched and just entirely unwelcome while they're down there. It's also said that people get physically attacked in there as well. They'd feel being pinched, hit, scratched, and even bitten.
Oh, fuck no.
And once they go back upstairs, the scratches have often proven to be very, very real and would even bleed. One of the hosts from the El Paso Ghost Tours doesn't think it's a demon. He said he said that the entity as quote claimed to be the devil and has bit, scratched, punched, choked, and pushed our tour guides and guests. But do we think it's a demon? No, we do not. If that was the case, then I do believe we would have been ousted a long time ago.
It definitely sounds like a demon to me. I mean, I don't know. Just because it's not like, hey, something worse hasn't happened, so it's probably not a demon, doesn't mean it's a like
Right.
that doesn't make sense to me. Like it still does scary shit. It still hurts people. I don't know.
Exactly. I feel like if it's attacking you, then that's not humanly. I don't know. But
yeah.
So here are a few more EVPs from the hotel. This first one here is a demonic-like voice that was captured in the basement. You hear the tour guide, and then you can hear the deep voice, and I couldn't make out what it was saying, but it sounded like he was, going ha 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 at the end or something. And I want to know what you guys hear, so let me know. Also, I didn't send Kale any of these, so she doesn't fucking understand what I'm talking about. So, which was a stupid thing on my part. I should have sent them to her. But the second one here, there is, this one's a little more, well, actually a lot more faint. So if you can, go ahead and put earphones in to try to hear this, or just turn it up super loud. But in this one, the spirit was asked to say its name, and then they think they heard Sarah. So it's super faint, and you'll hear the tour guide at first, and then you'll very faintly hear Sarah or something. But I feel like it's super faint, like you can't even hear it saying Sarah, like you hear it saying something. And then this last one is a growl-like sound, or something like that. So here it is.
What ye have sinned, a young...
And you can totally hear something spooky after the tour guide talking. But yeah, these were some EVPs that I found. And then I want to just talk about a little bit of what happened in Zach's crew and their experience. So before the Ghost Adventures investigation started, a well, this was like during the whole part of it. A reverend randomly showed up, and he tells Zach and Aaron, which are two of the people that are in Ghost Adventures, how a while ago when he was called to go there to help with clearing whatever the fuck was there or whatever, he discovered a pentagram and an infinity with lines crossing above, and that's when he knew that some satanic shit was happening, and assumed this to be from people that would go do the ghost tours. So they stopped allowing the ghost tours to happen for a while. He also said that it was common to hear pebbles being thrown. So,
Yeah, that's scary. Just like finding all those symbols and shit would be so scary.
oh, for sure, to see, like, this is a place of satanic worship. Oh my god.
Like, imagine moving into a house and then it's like haunted as fuck, and you rip up the carpet and there's just all this fucking satanic shit underneath it.
That's a nightmare.
Yep.
That's an actual nightmare. Um, so during the Ghost Adventures investigation, there was quite a few things that happened and that they captured both on camera and through a spirit box. Some of the things that happened are that, well, there's a lot of things, and some of them I am putting into the videos on our Instagram post. So before going inside the basement, the first thing that happens is that they smell something decomposing near the basement door, and only in a certain spot, but they couldn't debunk it. And the smell of something dead usually means a demon. You know, if people smell something rotting, or like sulfur, maybe, I don't even know if it's sulfur, if it's just something that's like rotting or whatever, then that's usually like a demonic presence or entity or whatever.
Yeah, I've heard they're pretty
um
smelly.
yeah, but it smells like death. Like, it
Yeah.
smells like awful. But then around 3 a.m., Aaron captures a male and female voice on his spirit box, and the male voice says, "I'm in control."
Mm-mm. I do not like that.
As this is happening, Jay is sitting in a room, like a separate room, watching the cameras that they have set up in the basement to watch Aaron and Zach. And while they capture that entity saying, "I'm in control," one of Jay's recording devices start pulling away and moving on the table by itself. Like, it's literally like the way it's set up, which I'm gonna have the video so you can see it, but he's sitting down at his table. The monitor's in front of him, so he's looking at all the little, like, camera screens, and he has like devices on the table, and you can see this like device like just moving closer towards like the monitor, like if it was gonna pull off the table, and it's just moving. And then you can see his head, like when they do the replay, you can see his head like kind of like it's barely moving to look at it because he thinks that he noticed that like something moves, and then it like fully moves back, and he like gets freaked out and like moves the table and like goes back. It was just crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna add that to the Instagram, because that is fucking, when I saw that I was like, oh hell no, to see something move like that in person, no thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Gosh, it's making me miss Ghost Adventures. I used to watch that shit religiously when I was like 15.
Yeah, I was more into, I think I used to watch Ghost Hunters, and I watched A Haunting. I never really watched Ghost Adventures, but I knew like a lot of other people did. And Ghost Adventures is kind of like, it's kind of funny. Like,
Yeah, it's like
they're kind of,
entertaining.
yeah, but like everything is like legit and like real. Like, they're not two, but they're just like a few dudes who like really love this shit, and like they, it's not super like crazy serious. Like, it can be like, there's so many times where fucking Zach gets possessed and shit. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, back to the story. So Zach then tries pissing off the entity by using sage to smudge a part of the basement, and as he's lighting the sage, they hear 3 knocks. And anything in threes usually means demon. especially knocks. If you hear 3 knocks, and that's like a demon or something. And then he accidentally bumps into this ceiling fan that's sitting on top of a bookcase, where it actually ends up moving and falling onto the floor by itself. A video of that is also going to be in our post so you can see it, because that is like the creepiest shit I've ever seen. Like, this ceiling fan is probably heavy, and it's sitting on something, and it's like, it's just, there's no way that this could fall over the way that it did. And it's just insane. So like, it's just insane. So go ahead and go watch that, comment on it, tell us what you think, because it's fucking crazy.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you too. So anyway, before they notice that the ceiling fan fell, Jay and Aaron start to feel pissed off, and like they start to feel like violent towards Zach, and so they both decide to leave because they realize like this is probably the entity that's making us feel this way towards Zach. And so they leave, or I know Jay leaves to go back to Nerve Center, which is, again, where they have all of their security equipment and whatever. And when Jay gets there, he's still like having that negative energy, and he's like, he goes into the room and he's like throwing things off of his table, and he's just like going crazy, like all pissed off and shit. And then that happens and whatever. And then they go back downstairs after seeing the fan hit the ground, and they hear a little girl saying something after Zach asked if they did it. He was like, "Did you do this? Or did you move the ceiling fan or whatever?" And then you hear this fucking little girl say something. I don't know what it says, and I don't think I'm putting a clip of that, so if you want to hear that or whatever, just go watch the episode. But that pretty much concludes their investigation. There's other things that happen, but I didn't want to just, give you guys a summary of the whole ass like episode. But I think this place truly has some creepy ass shit going down, and I tried to find reviews on it, like on, like staying there, people who've stayed there, whatever, but I couldn't really find anything, which that kind of sucks, because I did want to get some sort of reviews from people. But yeah, that's the De Soto Hotel.
That sounds crazy. I really want to go watch that episode now. You said it was on Hulu?
Yes, it's on Hulu.
Yeah, I have Hulu. I'm gonna have to watch that again. I miss watching Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, it's so good. Literally the only thing I've been watching lately, and I love it. Also, I did get Shudder for 30 days for free, because some girl on our Instagram, she sent us she sent us a screenshot of like, there's like a code that the owner or whoever of the app, he like posted like a code to get 30 days free because of this whole COVID-19 thing going on.
Yeah,
so
I think it was Shut In.
Yeah, did you do it?
I looked at it, but I didn't do it. I was like, we have like 100 horror movies, and we haven't even watched like half of them.
These, I feel, because I did watch a couple of them, and they're very like low budget, I want to say.
Yeah,
like,
when I was
just
looking
like
through it, it was just like a bunch of movies with actors like I've
that you've never heard of.
Yeah. And those are usually pretty bad. Like all the Netflix ones, I'm like, yeah, these are pretty bad.
They all kind of suck, yeah. But a lot of people really swear by it. Like, they really love it. I did see that The Fog is on there, so they do have some really good like classic ones.
I think Halloween is on there. They do have some pretty good ones.
Yeah, they do. But yeah. Also, I do want to apologize, you guys, for the way, if I don't know if anybody noticed, but how I was seeming kind of off during my portion of the episode. We actually had to take like a break, because I don't know what's wrong with me. I started, I don't know, having like a panic attack or something. I don't know, maybe it's from all this ghost shit I've been watching. Like, what if fucking ghosts are coming through my TV or something? I don't know. Yeah. But like,
watch something positive. When you get Animal Crossing, it'll make you pure again.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm just like, maybe all this negative energy is like fucking making me not feel good.
It could be, honestly. I don't know. Sometimes I have to take a break. Like, I do a lot of true crime stuff, and I was really into it for a while, and now I just have to take a break sometimes. Like it does
Yeah.
weigh on you if you don't have like, you know, and like the paranormal stuff can really mess with you if you do it too much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, last night I was scared to go to sleep. I literally had like my head over or my head underneath the covers because I was like, "Oh my god, what if a fucking ghost comes in here because I keep talking about it?" And then I
Oh
think yesterday
no.
is when I watched their 100th episode, which is the Exorcist house one, and then they had like fucking demons and I'm talking about demons. God, I need to stop because that shit is real and I'm scared and you guys, I'm scared.
Kayla, you need to watch the show on Netflix called Tiger King. It's fucking crazy.
Is that happy?
No, but it's not
Okay.
about ghosts.
I want something happy, like fucking rainbows and unicorns or something.
Okay.
Maybe I'll watch Care Bears or
You need to
something.
get on Disney Plus then.
Oh wait, I have that.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do that.
Go watch Monsters Inc. Cause you know, it's still
Oh,
scary, but like a good scary.
boo!
My little character on Animal Crossing literally looks like Boo, except for blonde, and I love it because she has like little pigtails.
Oh, how cute!
Well, guess we should just get right into my episode.
Woo!
Or my story, not my
Yeah.
episode. I always say that, I don't know why. It's like it's my episode. Anyways, my story is gonna be on the disappearance of Susan Powell. It is kind of a popular case, but I'm kind of biased because I live in Utah, and so she lived in Utah when she went missing, so it's kind of a really popular case here. Like if you go up to anyone, they'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty crazy one. So in 2012, after being suspected of killing his wife, Susan Powell, in 2009, after a lengthy custody battle, Josh Powell killed himself and his two sons, Charlie and Braden, by igniting two 10-gallon gas cans in a fire, and it resulted in a gas explosion. It is also said that Josh Powell had tried to kill his sons with a hatchet before igniting the fires, or had started hitting them with the hatchet like while the
Ouch.
fires started before he
What?
died of like smoke inhalation. Yep.
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's really sad, and
To
it
be
makes me
killed by your
angry.
dad. Fuck.
It just makes me angry because when people do shit like this, it's just like, dude, just kill yourself. Like, there's no reason that you need to kill your children.
He's like, I just want to go with everyone so we could still be together.
Yeah. So, Josh Powell was born in January of 1976. Growing up, he was pretty unstable. As a teen, he was known to hurt small animals, and one example of this was he killed his sister's own pet gerbils.
What?
Yeah, he soon became
Fucking
aggressive.
asshole.
He did soon become aggressive with people, and he had even drawn a knife on his own mother at one point.
Yikes.
When he was 16, his mother and father were going through a nasty divorce, and his father, Stephen, was being accused of being wildly inappropriate with his children. Stephen Powell had no problem showing or watching porn while his children were around.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't do that with your kids around. Fucking
So,
nasties.
dude, you're gonna hate him at the end of this episode because
I already hate him.
he is fucking disgusting. One example of this was when he took his daughter Jennifer with him on a business trip, and he openly watched pornography while she was present.
Ew.
Yeah. So,
Gross.
Susan Cox. So before she was Powell, she was Susan Cox. She was a beautiful, kind-hearted person. She was pursuing her cosmetology license, and she was an active member of the LDS Church. She met Josh in a religious class that they shared, and officially met him at a dinner party in late 2000. They soon started a relationship, and they were married only 6 months after meeting in 2001. Fucking crazy.
And what year was this? The 70s?
No, it was in 2000.
Wait, where the fuck am I? Oh my god. I'm sorry. Jesus
It's okay.
Christ. I'm like, okay, the 70s, that sounds kind of normal, but then 2000, I'm like, wait, never mind.
No, it's okay. So they got married 6 months after dating, and this was in 2001. Due to a lack of funds, the couple decided to move in with Josh's father, Stephen Powell. Susan was unaware of Stephen's prior accusations, but she learned quickly who her father-in-law really was. Basically, Susan was constantly being sexually harassed by Steven, and Steven started to gain an unhealthy obsession with her. And what he basically like video documented like everything in his life. Like he would do like video journals, and in one of the video diary entries that he recorded,
Wait, like a vlog?
yeah, kind of, but he didn't like post them online. He just like
Oh.
recorded them of himself. Like he
He
just
was a
had tons and
vlogger.
tons of tapes. Yeah, he was a
Weirdo.
fucking creep. That's what he was.
Weirdo vlogger.
Yeah. So, in one of his video diary entries, he describes the most erotic experience that he's ever had. And in this entry, he talks about how he offered to rub Susan's feet while she was feeling sick. And he just sits there and describes how beautiful her feet and toes were, and just said that, quote, "I know she felt it too. She's not a naive girl. I know from what I've read in her journals," unquote. So he basically was just sitting there talking about how she let him rub her feet, and so she was into him. Like, I mean, it is fucking weird. Like, if I were to go like have my boyfriend's dad rub my feet, like that is really fucking weird.
That is super weird.
But to be like, yeah, she was totally into me, like, no, what the fuck? And he was saying because her feet were like near his crotch that she was into it. Like,
that's fucking gross. He's so weird.
Yeah, so it only gets worse from here. And the fact that he read her journals too, like, that's horrible.
Invasion of privacy, dude.
Yeah. So years later, for reasons that we'll discuss shortly, it was discovered that Steven had thousands of pictures and videos of Susan without her knowledge. So basically he was just like taking like, I don't know, what is the word, candid photos? Like she's just sitting there and he's just like taking a picture of her, like, or she'll be like walking from like the gas station to the car and he's just like taking a video of her. Like obviously
Ew.
videos and pictures that she probably didn't know were being taken. But in one of the videos, the camera is looking at Susan while she's sitting in the passenger side of the car, and Steven's just sitting there talking to himself, and he's saying, "I want her. I wish she would look my way. She was so pretty today when she came over to the house."
Oh my god.
He would also spy on her while she was in the bathroom, and again, he read her private journals while she was away. And the most disgusting thing that he did was that he kept or stole Susan's sanitary products that she would throw away.
Ew!
So,
what?
Yeah, so he had like a whole stockpile of like her underwear, makeup wipes, pads,
Ew,
tampons.
he's trying
like,
to clone her.
The little cardboard like tampon piece that you throw away. Like
That's
was
disgusting.
Fucking gross. It was like in
Wait.
Ziploc baggies and shit.
Can you hear the rain?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. If you guys can hear the rain, sorry. I'm probably not gonna edit it out because rain is sick.
It's just gonna be soothing in the back of my horrible story. So yeah, so he kept all that shit from, he like stole it out of the trash and shit. So there was one point when Steven finally decided to come out to Susan to see what she would say, and it was in an audio recording, and it was from a camera. And from the documentary that I watched, it said that like they weren't sure if it was supposed to be recorded or if he just like accidentally recorded it. But basically what he says is, "I'm probably wrong, but I've really fallen in love with you. Maybe I'm interpreting something that shouldn't be interpreting. But for example, when we were sitting on the couch, I just felt like you were I was extremely aroused, and I think you were somewhat aroused. At least I thought."
Ew.
And Susan replied with, "I don't know where you're going with this. I mean, I'm married to your son, and I should just be your daughter-in-law, which puts me a step beneath your own children, which is where I'm comfortable. My own father doesn't even kiss me, and you kiss me. I don't like that."
You tell him, sister.
Yeah, so he was basically just really fucking creepy, really disgusting, like really sexually harassing the fuck out of her. And I think that it kind of just took a toll on her. So in 2004, the couple decided to move to Utah, and they lived in West Valley City, Utah, which is actually where I live.
Oh, bitch. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you know where the house location is?
Yes, and I have a treat for you at the end.
Oh my god, yes. I love
Um
treats.
so in 2004 they moved to Utah, and Susan was hopeful to start a new and better life, because living with that guy was just horrible. Like, there were videos like where he was just recording Josh and her sitting on the couch, and Josh was like, "Are you done? Like, can you stop?" So, anyways, in 2005 they had their first child, and then their second child was born in 2007. And Susan hoped that having children would help their marriage, but unfortunately she wasn't getting the happily ever after that she hoped for. Josh became extremely controlling over Susan, to the point where even her friends and family became concerned. Josh was also incredibly irresponsible with money. He could never hold a job, and it actually led to the couple filing bankruptcy in 2007 with a $200,000 debt.
Fuck.
Yeah, so
That's big debt.
Susan was basically providing for the entire family. She was working at Wells Fargo as a broker. Um, while at work, Susan decided to handwrite a will. It's dated June 28, 2008, and you can find a lot of pictures of it online, or like in documentaries and stuff, but I didn't want to read the whole thing because it's pretty long. But there were some things that I took out of it. Basically, one part she wrote, quote, "I have been having extreme marital distress for about 3 or 4 years now. For mine and my children's safety, I feel the need to have a paper trail at work, which would not be accessible to my husband," unquote. She also wrote other chilling passages saying, quote, "If I die, it may not be an accident, even if it looks like one," unquote.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
She knew.
Yeah, so basically, she knew that he was going to do something, and she had wrote in some of the entries like things that he had said and threatened to do, which he did threaten to like burn the house down and everything. So, that's what he ended up pretty much doing.
Burning the house down?
Yeah, he exploded him and his children in the gas
Oh,
fire.
that's right. Yeah. Jesus.
So,
Jesus.
along with the will, on July 29, 2008, she also made a video recording. Basically, she starts off the video with the camera pointing at her, and she says, "Hello, it's me." And she basically says, "I'm just taking a recording of our assets just in case anything were ever to happen to me or my children, or any of us, really, any of us. Hopefully we live happily ever after, but who knows." So she kind of just seems nervous, and she starts saying like, in case anything ever happens to me or my children, but then she just kind of was like, well, anyone really. But she walks around the house and she's showing off all of their assets, and it's pretty obvious at this point that she was preparing for something and that she did not trust her husband whatsoever.
Yeah.
So Josh would get upset with her over ridiculous things and push all of the blame for their marital and financial problems on her. He would get mad at her over stupid things like how much she would spend on groceries. Like, he would sit there and be like, "We wouldn't be in such financial debt if you would stop buying expensive groceries and just buy like the off brands." Like, but he couldn't hold a job and he wasn't doing anything to help. So,
Right.
oh, and he would spend thousands of dollars on like remote control cars and shit.
Wow.
So December 7th, 2009, so again, she did all that July 29, 2008. So in December of 2009, she went missing. Terry and Jennifer, who are Josh's mother and sister, were contacted by a daycare saying that the two sons, Charlie and Braden, had not been dropped off at daycare. And when they were unable to reach Josh or Susan, they decided to contact the police. So when the police arrived at their home, at this point the whole family was technically missing. They decided to break in due to the possibility that the family could have died from carbon monoxide poisoning. So,
because that's pretty common. Well, it's not common, but it's like if no one's answering or no one's to be found, that's usually like what happens, right?
yeah, like if it happens, it's usually people just like die in their sleep. So,
Yeah.
like, Josh didn't show up to work, Susan didn't show up to work, the kids weren't at daycare, so they're like, okay, the whole family's missing. Like, is it a possibility that something bad happened to them in the home? So the police,
And it did.
yeah, well, kind of. So the police
Oh.
decided to break in. When they entered the home, there was no one inside, and there wasn't really anything out of place. The only thing that the police noticed was that there was a strange placement of 2 box fans in front of a wet stain on the carpet, and that part of the sofa was wet.
Oh my god, ew.
Yeah, so police were able to find Susan's personal belongings, including her wallet and her ID, and there was also a few spots of blood on the kitchen tile. Um, the blood did come back as a match to Susan, and then there was also a blood sample of an unknown male.
Ew. What?
So, yeah, it's crazy, man. So, by late afternoon that day, Josh and his 2 sons resurfaced, and when he was questioned by the police, he made some very strange statements. So, first of all, he claimed that the last time that he saw Susan was the night before when she went to bed, and he claims that around midnight he just decided to randomly take the 2 boys on a spontaneous camping trip, which it is fucking December in Utah, where it is fucking freezing and snowing and cold. So,
Fucking liar.
yeah, so pretty
That's an
much
obvious lie.
so he's trying to say like he was just as shocked to find that she was missing when he got back home.
Mm-hmm.
When police mentioned, why didn't you call out for work? Why didn't you notify your boss that you wouldn't be in? Josh claimed that he thought it was Sunday, not Monday. So it was a Monday, it was a Monday night when he went camping. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you had to have gone to work that day. Like I don't understand. His story does not add up.
He an idiot. That's why.
So he also claimed that he tried to call Susan's cell phone, but that he couldn't reach her. But police later found Susan's cell phone in the van that he was driving, and then he suddenly couldn't explain why her cell phone was in the car. So needless to say, the cops and media and anyone else involved did not believe Josh's story at all. But while Josh was being interviewed, so were his sons. And Charlie, who was 4 years old at the time, told the detectives that they did go camping, but Charlie claims that his mother did go with them. She just didn't come back.
Aww.
And there's you can find the interview online of this. And weeks later, Charlie told a teacher that his mother was dead, which is like, he's a 4-year-old. Like, how is he even saying shit like that,
Right.
So, according to Susan's father, Charles Cox, the summer after she disappeared, Braden, their youngest son, drew a picture of himself, his dad, and his brother in the car, and they were like driving down a road. And when he asked where his mom was, he stated, "Mommy was in the trunk."
Oh my god.
Yep. So even after all of this, so the kids were interviewed, and coworkers actually even came forward as well, and they told police about a time that Josh said where he would like hypothetically hide a body. So he just randomly started talking to his coworkers like, "Where would you guys hide a body?" "Oh, well, if I had to, I would hide a body in an abandoned mine shaft in the West Utah desert." Like he just had like this whole thing, and he basically he said that all you would have to do is nudge a piece of it and then the whole mine shaft would be gone, which is true because they're extremely unstable when they've been abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
So the mine shafts were actually searched as best as they could have been, but due to the instability, pretty much they weren't able to get all the way in them or to search them as
Mm-hmm.
thoroughly as they would like. But many people believe that that's where her body is, but we might never know.
Did no one ever check?
So they were searched, but they weren't able to be fully searched because of them being unstable.
Wow.
Yeah, so on January 6th, Josh and his brother Michael packed up the family home in Utah, and they made their way back to Washington with their 2 sons, and they moved back into Stephen Powell's home. So Stephen and the rest of the Powell family would tell the media that they believed that Susan was alive and that she had simply ran off with another man and that she had just abandoned her children.
Easiest cover up.
Yeah, they tried really fucking hard to portray her as a broken woman who was never happy with her life, no matter how good it was, and that she had just left her children. Stephen had told the media about her journal entries because, he read them, and they were old at this point. Like, they were 9 years old at this point, so he has
Mm-hmm.
no right to say, like, how she was feeling. Um, but Stephen even went as far as saying it's possible that she was involved with another love affair given my above average familiarity with her sexual proclivities. Like, how fucking dare you? She was not into you. You were literally stalking her and like creeping on her.
Obsessed.
Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? So, Josh and his father Stephen created a website called susanpowell.org, and they basically used it to fuel their theories, to start up conspiracy theories. They posted everything that they could to try to bash her character, and they posted everything they could to try to prove Josh's innocence, but they did everything anonymously, so they tried to make it seem like other people were commenting on it to like defend Josh, but nobody fucking believed him.
SusanPowell.org is not a thing anymore, just so you guys know.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore.
I just looked it up.
Oh, yeah, no, it got taken down because they found out that it was Steven and Josh just trying to throw off everybody, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, so on August 25th, 2011, investigators carried out Operation Tsunami. The objective was to recover her journals and hopefully recover the other evidence to convict Josh. But instead, they found the heaping mounds of evidence of stalking by Stephen Powell that we talked about earlier. So this included the video footage that he took of her, the photos, all of the sanitary belongings that he stole. And then on top of that, there were also photos of two of his young neighbors. There were photos of them getting dressed, bathing, and using the toilet. So,
Ew.
yeah, so he's literally just a fucking disgusting human. Thankfully, he was convicted of 14 counts of voyeurism, and this resulted in Charlie and Braden being placed in the care of Susan's parents until a custody hearing could take place. So, since Stephen was now technically a pedophile, Josh had to move out of the house in hopes to win the custody case.
Yeah.
So he decided to move into a house in Graham, Washington, just a few miles away from Stevens.
Can I say something about Graham?
Sure.
I've been there when I lived in Washington, and I stayed there, I think. And it's a very, very nice, like, middle of nowhere. I mean, it's not the middle of nowhere, but it's kind of the middle of nowhere.
Isn't it
But
like a
it's like,
smaller town?
yeah, it's just middle of nowhere, more like middle of trees everywhere and small town. Yeah. It was nice.
Maybe I will have to visit there. Okay, so it was just a few miles away from Stephen's house. The custody battle lasted until February 1st, 2012, and primary custody was ultimately awarded to Susan's parents, as per her wishes in the written will. So, supervised visitations were still allowed for Josh, and 4 days after the court date, a supervised visitation was set. When the social worker arrived, she was supposed to supervise the visit, but the boys ran up to Josh. Josh said, "Hey, guys, I have a surprise for you." And he slammed the door and locked it. The social worker was like banging on the door, and she was like, let me in, let me in. And she couldn't get him to answer the door. So she frantically called 911. And she told the operator that she was scared because she could smell gasoline and she was starting to back out of the driveway. So,
Oh my god.
basically, right after she backed out of the driveway, the house exploded with the two boys inside.
Oh my
and
god.
Josh. Yeah, so in the 911 recording, she's like, "How long is it going to take you to get here?" And the operator is like, "Well, we have to deal with emergencies first." And she's like, "This is an emergency. Like, I think
What
he's
the
going to hurt the
fuck?
boys." And then like right after that, the fucking house explodes. So like there was no time for anyone to
Yeah.
even get there. Like he had this fucking planned. Like I think he probably drenched the house in like gasoline, and then right when they got
Yeah.
inside, he just laid them down and just immediately started the fire, because their bodies were found between two 10-gallon gas cans.
Oh my god.
So the suicide was not spontaneous, according to police. Josh had donated all of the boys' toys to charity, and he even emptied out his bank accounts. In the final moments leading up to the fire, he contacted his family members via email to say his final words. He even emailed his lawyer to say, or his attorney to say, "I'm sorry, goodbye."
Oh my god.
So, shortly after Josh's suicide, his brother Michael became a suspect. Police had learned that he sold his car to a wrecking yard 2 weeks after Susan's disappearance for only $100. They were able to find the car, and a cadaver dog indicated decomposing human remains in the trunk, but DNA that they discovered was inconclusive. Josh had also made Michael the primary beneficiary of 90% of his funds. They also have a theory that the unknown blood sample from the Powell home could have been Michael's, but no other information was actually released on that, if it was or not, because I couldn't find anything. Like, I couldn't find anything about that. It was just kind of like they thought it was him, but nothing else was ever released, and the case is still cold. But unfortunately, the trail led to nothing. because in early 2013, Michael also committed suicide. He ended up jumping off of a building. I can't remember what city it was in. I want to say Manhattan, but it was like downtown in a city. He like jumped off of a building. So
Oh my god.
So his motives were unclear for that, but obviously people think it's because he was feeling guilty. Stephen Powell was also a suspect due to his obsession with Susan, but it was really hard to try to prove that since Susan went missing in Utah and Stephen lived in Washington. Stephen was released from prison for the voyeurism charges in 2017, and he died at age 68 a year after being released from prison. He died from a heart attack. So Susan Powell's case is still open, and no one has been able to find her body or figure out what exactly happened to her. And now that everyone involved ultimately is dead, it's not very likely that we'll ever be able to find out what happened to her or where her body is. But it is, police do believe that Josh Powell killed Susan and that Michael helped him possibly either kill her or get rid of the body. Susan's family does not believe that she's still alive. They never believed that she would ever run off with without her children, especially because in those wills, like, she talked about how much she loved her children and like how she lived for them and how she suffered through this marriage for them. So it's a very sad thing, but
That's fucked up.
yeah. So I totally think that he fucking killed her.
For sure.
It's pretty fucking obvious to me. Like, nobody just blows themselves up and their children if they're not guilty of anything. And just like all of the obvious signs, like just her preparing for it, like,
That's so sad
yeah, it's
to
fucking
know
horrible.
that shit is like coming.
Yeah. It's scary because, she was away from her family. She lived in Utah. I don't think they really knew anyone. I tried to figure out why they even moved to Utah, but I couldn't even find like the actual reasoning for why they did. So I don't know why they moved to Utah or what the deal was with that, but so I just have one little thing here to add. My friend actually grew up like one street over from where they lived, and
Fuck.
her cousin actually shared a backyard with their house.
No
So
way.
yeah. So
Whoa, that's so crazy.
I know. So I texted her and I was like, dude, tell me your story that you told me a while ago. Like, I want to feature it on our podcast episode. So she sent me the story and I just wanted to read it off if that's okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So this is her story word for word. So she says, okay, so when I was around 12 is when Susan went missing. My family lived right around the corner from the Powells. I didn't really know Susan or Josh, but they would come to our house and hang out with my dad while he was working on race cars sometimes. Long story short, her dad used to race cars and he would work on them in the garage. So
Nice.
she said, my dad would always talk about how uneasy Josh made him. Everyone else would run inside to get away from him, even Susan and the boys, who all visibly relaxed being away from him. Anyways, after Susan disappeared, there was a scarecrow in their backyard that had a mannequin's head attached to it. It stared straight into the window of my little cousin, who lived around the block from me, but their backyard connected to the Powell's backyard. He complained about it to his mom every day, saying it scared him and watched him while he slept. My family and my house in general at the time was a real party spot, and one drunken night, my aunts, some of their friends, and a few others jumped the fence and stole the scarecrow. They drug it back to my house. It's crazy, man. Like,
What the fuck?
We were all laughing and messing with it, celebrating that my cousin wouldn't be scared anymore. We shook it around a little bit, and we saw a kitchen knife. We saw a kitchen knife with what looked like dried blood fall out of the leg of the scarecrow. It had
Oh
been
my
stuffed up
God.
inside of it, hidden away. We all immediately stopped laughing and having fun. The next day we called the police about it. They came and they took the knife and the scarecrow, but they just treated it as if we were playing a prank. She never heard anything else from the police after that.
Of course.
Yep. So nobody knows what happened to her. Nobody knows where she is, but what if he stabbed her and like killed her and then hid that in there just for like the time being? Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's really crazy. And like, I remember her telling me stories of just about like how fucking creepy he was and just like how weird they were. So yeah, I think that he killed her and it's very sad. Like, I don't think we'll ever be able to find out what happened unless someday, somehow we find her body. But if he did put her body in one of those mine shafts, there's a 99.9% chance that we'll never find it, because it is almost impossible to get in those mine shafts without fucking dying, basically.
Yeah.
Most of them have collapsed, and this all happened in 2009, so it's been a good while since then.
Yeah.
So
Does anyone live in the house now? Like the Utah house?
I think so, but I'm not actually sure.
That's fucking crazy. So the house that blew up, was that like burned down, or was it
Oh
it
yeah,
was
it
it
was totally destroyed. It was like it blew up so bad that like pieces of insulation like flew over to the neighbor's house. Like it
shit.
the final picture of it after the fire was put out, it's like just one giant black spot.
Oh my god. Did they ever rebuild over it?
I don't know. I actually didn't look into that. I don't even know what the address was. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see.
See, because I'm just like, what if they rebuilt over it? What if there's like ghosts there?
Honestly, if they did, then I would not be fucking surprised if there's ghosts, because like you
Yeah,
can't just blow up your no, like especially for the children, like if there's not his ghost, then the
the
children's
kid's
ghosts are
ghost.
probably fucking it's I can well I'll post a picture of the house. But yeah, it's pretty much gone. Like the walls are still up, but barely. Like everything in the house is destroyed.
Fuck, that's insane. Well, very sorry for Susan Powell, and I hope that her soul is resting at peace, because, or at least she's with her kids. I really hope she's with her kids. And oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god,
What does that sound?
oh my god, oh my god.
What is it?
I have like these, like, I have like this banner thing, like this black banner thing, and it just like fell, and my dog just started growling. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need to stop watching Ghost Adventures. I'm fucking getting ghosts in my room.
Yeah, that's scary.
That is really scary. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like the other day when I texted you, you guys, okay, I was watching Ghost Adventures and I was casting it off of my phone to my TV from Google Chromecast, whatever, and I was watching it on Hulu, and my remote was on my bed next to me, like face down, but it wasn't being touched or anything. And the TV fucking changed to YouTube by itself and then back to Ghost Adventures. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck just happened? That's scary. I don't know what happened. It was freaky, but I maybe I need to stop watching these shows for right now.
Yeah, I
I
think you
don't
need to
know.
take a break. It's time.
Definitely time.
It's so
Stop
hard to
spooking
take it's
myself.
so hard to take a break from stuff like this though, because it just like it's so intriguing and you just like love learning about it.
Yeah.
And so it's really fucking hard to like
I live
stop, but
and
sometimes
breathe
you really have to stop.
spooky shit. Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys for listening in to our episode. Again, I apologize for my weirdness in the beginning of this episode, but Kale did a great job at fixing everything. So,
Oh, whatever.
yeah. So, yeah. Oh, we never mentioned what episode this is. This is episode 18. Yay!
Whoop, whoop.
Um, so yeah, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to send us your spooky personal stories to taleoftwodeadgirls@gmail.com.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Interact with our posts on Instagram. Like, we love to hear your feedback. We love to hear your theories on the stories that we tell and the mysteries that we give you guys. Tell your friends. If you want to check out my other podcast, again, that's the Horror Sphere podcast. So you can check that out if you'd like.
Yes, go do that. We love supporting everybody and small artists and small business and small everything. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you guys in the next episode. And we'll meet you 6 feet under.